just finished up my other eye, and I'm going to start with my face. Before I do anything as far as makeup, I put on a moisturizer, just because I don't really have a good primer. And you want something on your face that the makeup can stick to, because if you're putting your makeup on a dry face, it's just going to push your makeup all around, so you want it to really stick there. I don't use my fingers for foundation because I feel like that's just a big old mess. So I use this foundation brush. It's by Real Techniques. I also use a Beauty Blender dupe. I don't use an actual Beauty Blender because it's like $20 for one. But there's this really good dupe on Amazon. I think it's like Beaker or something. I don't know. It's only $10 and you get, I think, like between 8 and 10. And they're really soft. I don't know. They work really well. If you do use a Beauty Blender, please, for the love of God, make sure that you wet it first. Makes all the difference in the world. And then you just want to be careful going under your eyes. And then here's where you can clean up any little eyeshadow mistakes. And you don't want to get too close to your eyebrows. I mean, remember that you have concealer there if you did your eyebrows and cleaned them up. So that'll all be blended pretty well. But oh my god, if you went through all of this and then jacked up your eyebrows, it'd be a nightmare. And then you want to make sure you blend your foundation really good into your hairline, and also make sure you go down your neck. Because sometimes, your foundation can be a shade or two, well, not two, hopefully not two. It can be like a shade off of your skin tone, which if you're contouring and stuff, it all evens out, but you don't really want to look like you're two different colors, right? Because that's not cute at all. Like you look like you're wearing a mask. So you buff out any solid lines you might have. Alright, next I'm going to start a little bit of contouring. I only contour with a light concealer. I don't have like an actual contouring kit. I use this Maybelline Master Concealer. Brooke, this is what I was telling you about. I use it in the lightest shade. I use this because I got this Clinique concealer, which is nice and thick, but I feel like they don't make one light enough for me. Or maybe they just didn't have it. So you only need like a little tiny bit for each section. And the goal, or the idea here, is to kind of make like an upside down triangle under your eyes. And it's nice and light. You want this, if you're going to try to do a little bit of contouring, you want this to be probably 2 to 3 shades lighter than your actual skin tone. So even if you have like a really dark complexion, you shouldn't have too much of a problem finding a concealer. I know as far as foundations, it can be really hard for some people with really dark skin tones to find like a good foundation. They just don't make them dark enough, some of these companies. But as far as concealer, they're always a little lighter, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, if you're very, very fair and pale, then you might have a little bit of a trouble finding one that's a couple shades lighter than your skin tone. And that's the problem I was having until I found this, which I think is relatively new. But whatever concealer you use, you just want to make sure it's a nice, like, thick consistency. I know my mom used to have one, she showed me, and it was like water, so thin, and I told her, I was like, that's not okay. You need it to have some substance, you know, because especially if it's too thin, I mean, it's just gonna wipe all of your makeup off, like your foundation. So I do under my eyes. I also do my chin. I do under my nose, tip of my nose, and a little bit on the bridge of my nose, and also my forehead. And then the forehead, you're going to want the same kind of upside down triangle. Whatever's extra, I just run down. And then I usually just take my same foundation brush and just blend it all in. And this, like, you're just highlighting the front of your face. It just makes it stand out a little more. So maybe if you had a really, like, big forehead, like a protruding forehead, then this is not what you're going to want to do. But I don't think I've ever seen anyone with a protruding forehead before, so I don't think it's too much of a concern here. Okay. So, if you have like a cream contour, then this is the point where you would want to put your cream contour on. I don't. I use a powder. So I want to set all of this before I go on. I use Airspun, this, for under my eyes, chin, nose, all the parts I just use the concealer on. And if you have the time, you can bake it, which baking your concealer on, it's basically you're putting so much powder on that it traps the concealer between your skin and the powder, and it cooks onto your skin using your own body heat. And you probably need about, like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes for that to happen. And that makes it to where it just doesn't move. Or if you have oily skin, this will help that out. But you want to make sure you put like a ton on, and you're going to look crazy and a little stupid, but it's only temporary. I do not have 10 minutes because this little beastly baby is waking up. So I gotta try to be quick. And then I just use regular CoverGirl loose powder. I put some in the lid, and then I just bought this yesterday, but I was playing with it and I'm super excited about it. I've been using this for powder, just all over the face. And then you brush off all your extras. I mean, if you don't want to get a powder brush, you don't really need one. I mean, up until yesterday, I was literally using the little thing that came with the CoverGirl. So you do whatever you need to do. I think this brush, I got this from Ulta. And it was only, I think, $15 for this, which isn't bad for brushes. At Sephora, I was looking at one like the same size. It was like $40. Like, I'm not spending $40 on one brush. Like, get out of my face. And this is just an e.l.f. 101. I think you can even get this from Walmart or Target. Okay, real quick, contouring. I'm really light, so I can get away with a matte bronzer. If you have a dark complexion, you're probably going to need an actual contour kit, because they're probably not going to make many bronzers that are that dark in color, so you might have to spring for the actual contour stuff. But I try to get away with cheap, you know, so I just use this, which is plenty dark for ghostly people like me. You want to go even with your ear down at an angle, you want to cut right underneath that cheekbone, right? I don't know if you can hear that baby screaming, so I gotta hurry. And then you want to do up into your hairline, forehead, and then down the sides of your nose. You want it to kind of go with your eyebrow down. Under a little bit over. And then you want to go under here. Sometimes, you know, my double chin shows a little bit. And all the time, I don't have time for that. So we just kind of buff that bitch out of there so we don't have to deal with her today. Kind of cut out your jawline a little bit. If you go a little too low with your contour here, you can go back under with your regular powder. Clean it up a little bit. And then blush, I love blush. I don't think it gets the credit it deserves. So whatever blush you want, I've been using this Maybelline Fit Me, and I think they're really pretty. I've never had a high-end blush, so I can't compare, but I think this works well. And it's cheap and it's pretty, so that's what we're doing. Highlighter. I've been using this Jeffree Star Northern Lights palette. Love him, love his products. I haven't had a bad experience yet. I'll probably do the color Anchorage and Frozen Gold, just mix the two. It's like a rose gold and a regular gold color. Just put it right on the apples. I don't even know if this is going to show up well since I'm just using an iPad. But then I also do the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, just a little on the bridge. And you can even go up here with it too. And that's that for highlighter. Lips, let me just knock this out real quick. I think I'll do like a nude. I have all different so I have Jeffree Star lip liner, I have this Rimmel lip liner, and I think it's an Estee Lauder. Yeah, an Estee Lauder lip liner, and I gotta say, they all work about the same. I don't notice one working better than the other. So I honestly am starting to think that lip liner is just lip liner. I don't know. I don't even know how to tell the difference. But this Rimmel one, I think I spent like $4 on. And I'm just as happy with how this looks as I am my Jeffree Star lip liner, to be honest. And then if you're doing a lip liner that's going to be a little different than the shade of lipstick or lip gloss or whatever you're using, you want to kind of go in a little with it so you have a little more color to blend with, because we really don't want to look all 1992 and have like a drastically different color lip liner than lipstick. If you do, that's fine, but you want it to blend. And you can use whatever you want to blend. I mean, you can use your finger, whatever. And this nude, I got this from TJ Maxx too. I think it was like $4 for this MAC lipstick. It's a satin lipstick called Shrimpton. It's just a really nice nude, at least for my skin tone. I love it. And that's that. Now if I can only figure out how to do something with my hair, then we'd be winning. But for now, this is my face. I hope you liked it.